all that stuff's working. From too many YouTube videos of shooting, I have blown up my microphone on my phone, so I'll be using these things. So if you guys can comment, I'd appreciate it. Make sure you guys can hear me. Wait for some people to show up. I'm starting a little early, but the reason why is we'll give more time for people to show up. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So let's get a comment in there and see. And then we'll get started. Been on the road for a little over 2 months, shooting matches. Made it all the way to California. Visited some friends. But let's have some fun. So if you guys can comment, can you hear me? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Mr. Kentucky Precision got second place at the NRL Championship. Awesome job. So hopefully you guys can you at least say you hear me? Mr. Willard, what's going on? Chris Beck is in the house. He got second place. Actually, Ben Blevins got third place. All fats out there, what up? Somebody says, okay, good. That's what I was looking for, Robert M. Thank you for saying that it was working. So, all right. So if you guys don't know, or I haven't really been on here much, audio's good. Thanks, Abigail. We're going to talk about this. We got a lot of stuff to cover. And for those of you guys that remember, a couple years back, I shot the Hornady PRC in Evanston, Wyoming. Basically, it's in Utah. It's right on the border. So part of it you're in Utah, part of it you're in Wyoming. But I got my ass kicked. The first time I ever shot a PRS match. And now I'm traveling all over the United States trying to shoot. And I use the word trying to shoot. What's up, Frank? And the reason why I say that is I had a chance to shoot that match again on June 23rd and 24th. But that's down like 7 matches from now. So let's start off on May 13th of this year. Shot the Tar Heel Stomp and was lucky enough to get 4th place out of 54 shooters. So that was pretty good, 87% hit factor. And then I jumped in my van and headed to Minnesota. And in Minnesota, that was May 20th. I was able to get 27th out of 108 shooters. That was a rimfire match as well. And then it all started. So you guys are going to hear some excitement on this new shooting that I've had a chance to start doing, and it's called the NRL Hunter. If you guys haven't seen some of those videos, definitely go take a look at them. But I really enjoy, what's up, El Gato? I really enjoy the style shooting because it's blind stages. You're hidden behind cars or bushes, and then they say go. You go out there, you find the post, and your targets are somewhere out there. So it's kind of fun. The match in Minnesota, I don't have actually, I do over here. It was New York Mills, Minnesota. Ruth and Justin put that match on. I can get you more information if you need it. That was a great match as well. So the Rough Rider Rumble was my first NRL match, and I was lucky enough to pick up first place in factory division, and I had a great time. That was in North Dakota, and there was 6 shooters in factory division, and I was lucky enough to pull off a first. So I was like, man, this is really cool, right? And I've had a chance to shoot 3 more NRL Hunter matches since then, and we'll get into those. But it was pretty cool to win a trophy. This is kind of what I've seen in different medal trophies as well in the NRL Hunters. But you can see it's got the Rough Rider Rumble in there. So that's kind of neat. Something different. I don't have any axe trophies to put on the wall. So super excited about this. And I could have used this splitting wood or whatever if I needed to out while camping. So that's kind of pretty awesome. And then I headed over to Cody, Wyoming and shot the Sheep Mountain NRL Hunter. And this was a match that I did some video on showing the beautiful scenery and all that kind of stuff and the steep angles. shooting up and shooting down, depending on day 1 or day 2, and had a lot of fun with that. But I didn't do very good. I got 8th out of 11th. And some of that was dope. Some of it was probably elevation. And some of it was just bad, maybe ranging as well, and bad shooting, right? I had a 56.8% hit factor, which is not very good. That's the reason why I got 8th on that. But it was the environment and the beauty of the whole thing made it worthwhile. I was like, wow, this is freaking awesome. We're on top of this huge mountain, looking down into a valley with the big old lake. Very beautiful. So it was kind of cool. And then I headed to the Hornady NRL Hunter match, and that was in Price, Utah. And there was 19 factory shooters. I got 13th, which I think is pretty bad, but I got 33% hit factor. So I don't know. I could have shot better, but I didn't. But I'm still learning the game on how to do it, how to find the targets, and it's thanks, Sean. But it was difficult. It was a lot of fun and a very beautiful area as well. I would say that the Cody, Wyoming one was a little bit better as far as beauty. That was the Sheep Mountain one, but the Hornady NRL Hunter was right there with it. I mean, it was beautiful scenery, nice sunsets, nice sunrises as well. Just a really cool place to shoot a match. They had this western area where cowboy action shootings are, so they have like a fake town and a bunch of cool targets and stuff in there. That's actually where they held the ceremony. So that was really cool. And then there was a midweek match, and I won't say where it is because it's kind of an invite only. They have to put it on practice score. So I won't say the name of it. There was 19 shooters. I got 8th place. But it was just cool to hang out with all these guys that I had a chance. Some of them had a chance to meet some of these matches before. And then the Hornady PRC. So the Hornady PRC was the one I was telling you guys about that kicked my ass. I came in second to last place. I really wanted to, after 3 years of shooting, basically, I felt more confident. I was using a PRS rifle by Desert Precision Gunworks. You guys know he's the guy that makes all my rifles, and he does an awesome job. So if you guys need a rifle, there he is right there, Eagle Eye Shooting. Go out, check him out. You will have a little bit of a wait time because he's building a lot of rifles for people, but definitely top quality. So I was lucky enough to find through a couple buddies, there's a place on Facebook where they sell, and I can't because I'm using the phone right now, but it's basically like buy, sell, basically matches. Say something happens and you can't make a match, you go to this one website. You got to get invited in, but then you can see people selling matches around the United States that maybe you want to shoot one. And you're like, oh, they're already sold out. That's how you get on. So I was going to that match, whether I had a ticket or not. I brought all my rifles. Um, I brought my Remex for the 22 matches. I brought that NRL Hunter, which is in the van right now, but it's a Bagara, fully factory rifle. So I'm shooting factory, so it's all going to stay within 12 pounds and all that kind of stuff. And then my Desert Precision Gunworks rifle in 6 Creedmoor. Now that one I've been shooting for 2 years, and I probably should have got it rebarreled before the match. I think that was some of the misses. The bullets for the NRL Hunter, I'm using a Hornady ELD 140s, and for my 6 Creedmoor, I'm basically making ammo for that using H4350 and a 105 burger. No 69 grains. And then for 22, until this last match, which we'll get into for the championship, I shoot an Ely match. ammo for 22 rimfire. But so I go to this match, and here's the book right here, and we start on stage 2. Stage 2, the closest target was 965 yards out to 1267. You guys can see that. And that's basically stage 2. So we started on stage 2. This is my dope card that I pulled off and then I stuck on here. But basically the wind was perfectly lined up. It was early in the morning because that's where we started. And I was lucky enough to get an 8 out of 10. The targets were fairly decent size. They were basically full-size animals. So it was a fairly easy, in the morning, it was fairly easy to hit those. And as the day progressed, the winds got up to 33 miles an hour on stage 13. It was our last stage of the day. And I was really hoping they were going to shut it off before we had to shoot this one. And I'll let you guys just see how far away it is, but it's from far to near. And if you guys can see that, it was 1,732 yards with 33-mile-an-hour winds. So on my first target, which was a full-size grizzly bear, basically a mile, I was holding 5.1 mils to the right. And then as I progressed, so from far to near, I got a 0 on that stage. I actually held too much wind, I think is what ended up happening, was just dropped the right edge twice, which means I didn't do a good job of correction. And actually, it was because I couldn't spot it. It was after I ran it, but was rushed, shot second. So I was second in line, and there was two. You sat 2 guys down prone. The first guy would shoot, and then it was my turn. And I wasn't even officially ready yet. This is no excuse because I could have told them I'm not ready, but I'm like trying to find the targets and so on. Yeah, yeah, true. But I only put 5. I only put 5 on the holds for 6 targets. Oh, that was another problem. You can see right here. Here's the reason why I got a 0. So this one was actually correct. That was the first distance. And then I skipped the target. I skipped this black bear. So if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But my dumbass put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different dopes. So as I was engaging the second target, which was really, I didn't have dope for, I'm like, man, that looks super low. So that was a brain fart, right? So when I screw up on a stage, I call it shitting the bed, which isn't probably politically correct in some sort of manner on a live chat, but welcome to Isyour6covered. So, and I just did really bad. So I shot that stage and did really crappy. But I did clean. I cleaned one stage. I cleaned one stage in the whole match. And I started off really well. I'm like, man, this is going well. I even put a note, felt good, ran out of time. Is that the right? No, it's not the right one. Stage 2. Yeah, I put first stage felt good. So I kind of put notes down as I'm going. I put my attitude. I do a really good job of trying to remember to put the temperatures because as you're going, it's getting hotter in the daytime. And then this is the information I'll have for later. So the density altitude out there was 9,094 on stage 11. But just try to get good information. Yeah, you can see here, this is when the wind started rolling in on the stage before. But holy crap, 33-mile-an-hour winds. So it was definitely tough. I was really excited to shoot the match. And then I was not so excited when I didn't do very well. I usually shoot better than that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Shit. Tell me if you can still hear me. I might have screwed up the microphone. I'll wait for a comment here. Can you hear me? All right, somebody comment. Let me know. Can you guys still hear me? Normally I don't run this crap. That's all I had for a microphone. Hello? Let's see how far behind you guys are. Forgot there's a lag. Come on, people. All right, well, I'm just going to continue talking and hopefully it's working. Definitely type something in to make sure if it's working. But I did walk away with, let's see, 145th place out of 189. So I did beat my record of not coming in second to last. So I thought I could do better. I was hoping for a top 50%, and which should have been okay. But I didn't pull that off. So 145th place of 189 people. All right. Hopefully you guys can comment here and tell me if it's working or not. Can you hear me? Be nice to know, people. Is it working or not? I guess it's time for a new phone. Come on, somebody comment. Can you guys hear me or not? Can you hear me? Oh, it's working. Thank you so much for answering that damn question. All right, so I was humbled once again at the Hornady PRC, and that's not going through. Again, so it's this is a very tough match and very extreme winds and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a match that if you get a chance to sign up for that match before it fills up, because it fills up really fast, it'd definitely be a lot of fun, especially for the first time. If you are not, if you're not familiar with PRS style shooting and you go to your first match, I would say probably don't do that unless it really motivates you to get your butt kicked, and then you're going to continue to try to get better. But if you're someone that doesn't do good and then you want to shy away from it, don't do that match because it's super tough. All right, then after that, it was the NRL Championship in Maxton, North Carolina. But before I did that, I ended up swinging by Desert Precision Gunworks. And I was telling Kenny, because the 6 Creedmoor, you do burn barrels out. It's been a couple years and quite a few matches on it. And I was telling Kenny, like, hey, this thing probably needs a new barrel. And luckily, he just got done working for the day. And he's like, well, let's spin one up for it. And I was super excited because I figured I'd just drop it off and get it, in a few months or whenever he finds a hole for it to get to work on it. And I was super lucky. He put a brand new one on there. And I'm not even sure what barrel's on there. Schillen, I think. But I don't know. Kenny can answer that. He's out there in the comment section. But not along with that. So I told so Kenny goes, well, how's your Remex shooting? I go, it's shooting decent. He's all, yeah, Schillen. He's all, well, you can't shoot decent because the ammo that I had bought was for 2 rifles ago, and I had bought three cases of it basically, and I've just been using it because that's all I've had. Um, so he put a new barrel on it, and I don't know what barrel it is, but it's a micro groove 16. And what's up, Boom Country? And it was kind of to test it out for him, basically. But it was a tack driver in his rifle, so I'm like, well, so he ended up giving me like 300 rounds, 350 maybe, and I had just enough to finish the match after getting a good zero and all that kind of stuff. But it worked well. It was Cinerex, and Cinerex isn't my first pick, just for the fact that the bullet's black compared to silver. So the silver you can see fly through the air a little better if the sun's right. But the stuff hammered. It was a really good match. So NRL Championship. This just happened this last weekend. I ended the first day, day one, in ninth place and was kicking ass. There was 230 shooters, 231 shooters, and was really feeling good. Rifle was doing really well. I was shooting really well. And then day two showed up. So day two showed up, and it was a hot, miserable day. Both days were hot and miserable. I mean, people were getting IVs. There's a couple of people, especially from up north. I won't say where, but up north, they were really having issues with the humidity and the temperature. The temperature was hot as hell, and it was humid as hell. So it was tough. We did have an awesome squad, Ben. It was a lot of fun. What's up, Hammer? Um, but it was people that were having a lot of trouble. So drinking a lot of water, making sure you were hydrated was very important. Day two shows up, and I had I had a couple issues. My rifle ran great, the ammo ran great, and my brain forgot to turn on. So, as a lot of you probably know, but we'll do it anyways. If this is the turret for my elevation on my scope, this is a big son of a bitch right here. Um, it was a far to near, and it was 12 something, like 12.2 was my first target, and my second target was in, and it was 5 point something. So what I was supposed to do was shoot my far two, which I did. I think I held a half a mil and 2 impacts on the far target. And I see a 2 here because my scope turret just goes to 10. So I go all the way around and it's a 2, which is really a 12. And then I look at my dope card, it says 5.3 or something like that. So I turn it to 5.3. I engage the target. I don't see shit. I go, huh, that's weird. But there was some bushes and stuff. So I'm like, shoot the next one, don't see anything. And now I got to move to the next target. I dial that one, which was, I think 6. So I go to 6. Yep, it was a helicopter stage, Sean. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, can't see it. Can't see it. And then I get up on top. Now you're shooting from a strap. We're inside of a helicopter, not flying helicopter, but in a helicopter. So now I'm on a piece of strap and I'm going back to the dope for my second one. And I can't see shit. Anyways, I got a 2 on that. So I lost out on 8 points on that. Or maybe it was 10. Was it a 12 round or a 10 round stage? 2, 4, 6, 8. It was 10 round stage. So yeah, brain fart there. And as the guys in the back on my squad are biting their tongues because they wanted to tell me so bad, like, hey, dumbass, you're a full rev off. But you can't. You can't do that. You can't coach from the back. Chris Beck was one of them. I had Chris Ben, James Shar. I had a really great squad of guys that I enjoy shooting with a lot. A lot of Kentucky boys, some Georgia boys, South Carolinas. It was a lot of fun. But so I went from ninth place, and everybody's like, "Man, you're doing really good." And then, day two just took the wind out of my sails. So the hard part for me, and this the reason why I'm telling you guys this, and I always show you my screw ups and all that kind of shit, is it is a really hard to get over a screw up. It was so hard on that stage that I went to the next stage, sat by myself just to uh, re I don't know what it is, like just to like clear my head, basically, is what happened. But I did win a trophy at the NRL championship. So here you go. First place, NRLX 2022, but for cornhole. So me and a buddy, Josh Langley, uh, there was a cornhole tournament. I think there was like 12. I think 12 people stuck around, drank beer, and had fun. And our 12 teams, I should say. We were lucky enough to pull off first place cornhole trophy. So I did win a trophy at nationals. I know it's not a real trophy. It is a real trophy, but um, my partner and I, we were lucky enough to sneak by and win that. So that was kind of cool. We did win a scope, and I don't remember who the scope manufacturer was, but we decided to give it to one of the kids, youth shooters that was in my squad. Tucker's his name. Young shooter, really good. Has been kind of under the wings of Chris Simmons and shooting really good. So we gave him that scope, so he was all excited, and it felt good to help the youth out as well. But I was able to be in my bed 3 nights. Tonight will be fourth night in 2 months. And tomorrow I head to Indiana. So I start all over again, guys and gals. I'm actually going to be in Corey, Indiana for the Hoosier Harvest NRL Hunter match. And that's a 2-day NRL Hunter match. So I actually went to the range today and I put on an Eric Cortina brake. It's a brake / tuner. Now, before we guys get all crazy on the tuners can work well or they can work not so well. The reason why I say that is you go into I didn't see that. When you have a very light carbon fiber barrel, very thin in profile, throw it in the trash. Yeah. So here's what a tuner looks like on a 6.5 Creedmoor Bagara MG Light. So I started off all the way as tight as it would go. And this is 9. You can see a 9 here. Here's a 3-shot group. This is actually a 4-shot group. And basically I went from 9 to 7 to 5 to 3, 1, and back to 9, and then 7. So the 7 on the second rotation of the 7s, I was able to print that group. It could have been better, but I didn't want to sit there and waste time and energy. So a one MOA rifle is good enough for now. So that is the group that I went with on number 7. But you can see that just turning the tuner does impact a thin barrel that's made of steel and carbon. Look how bad that one is. And then it starts to tighten up. So this one was pretty good. This one was better. I think if I would have kept going, I think this one would have been the best. But my barrel was hot. That's the problem with the barrels. Now, I will say I did win one more competition, and that competition was in California, Marietta, California. And you guys wouldn't know anything about this, but every year, MOSA puts on a horseshoe tournament. And they've been doing this since it's like their 23rd year, some crazy shit. So I was in the area hanging out with my buddies, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go to this horseshoe tournament." I'm like, "Shit, whatever. I got nothing to do." And ended up winning second place with me and a guy named Kenny. They just pick your partner randomly, and then you shoot horseshoes and see how good you do. But there was 47 teams. I was like, "Holy shit!" Well, one of my best buddies, Chris, if he's still watching El Gato Grande, he actually came in first place. He's like, "This is for all the money," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's all, "We're playing for first and second right now." I'm like, "No shit." So yeah, I got me a hat, which is kind of cool. Got the American flag on the back. But yeah, that's a second place horseshoe trophy. So that was kind of cool. So got a chance to pick up a cornhole trophy, uh, a real trophy, and then a horseshoe trophy as well. But let's keep going here. So Corey, Indiana, July 15th and 16th. And then the VOD series finale. Apparently good at horseshoes. Yeah, yeah, I guess. Maybe I should start playing that. And hand grenades, yeah, Tim Rink. So the VOD series finale is August 5th. And then we'll be going out to Ben Blevins' place, Kentucky, whatever his name is on there, Kentucky something. August 12th for the Yeti. And then I'll be heading to Laramie, Wyoming for the Grand Slam NRL Hunters Championship. Now, how this works is they only take your top scores. I was lucky enough to get that one first place in this match, which automatically got me into the Nationals for the Grand Slam. So Colin Fawson's putting that one on. And where did I see the date? Oh, right here. The NRL Grand Slam is August 25th through the 27th in Laramie, Wyoming. So that's pretty cool. So I'm super excited about that. Now I can read your comments as long as they land more than 15 meters away. If you guys haven't had a chance to have one of these bad doggies, these are really good. What's up, Bad Billy? Open invitation to stop back in Michigan again. Awesome. Thanks, Billy. I've been liking these things. These are pretty good. If you guys see, I got some new artwork on the wall. It was I bought that in Arizona. I got 3 more over there, but damn it. So I've been enjoying the hell out of that. So it's been fun. Had a good time with some buddies and family down in Arizona for a big baseball tournament. Then we headed to California and had a chance to have some fun with some clay pigeon shooting and some rimfire stuff with just some buddies. So that was pretty cool. It was nice to see them all again. Because unfortunately, I don't like to go to California. So I was lucky enough to visit them. But what questions do we got? I've got a 600-yard match on the 29th. Nice, Boom Country. I had a chance to shoot with Boom Country, do a little prairie dog hunting in North Dakota. Super nice guy. He invited me to this cabin. We went and shot prairie dogs. We went out for dinner, made steaks. It was a good time. Him and what was the little guy's name? One of his friends' sons, or maybe one of his family. But he's a good little shooter. He needs to start shooting some NRL and PRS matches. But that was a lot of fun. Had a chance to go to all these national parks. It was freaking amazing. And I would say, like I've said in the videos, if you get a chance, have some time, try to get to one of your national parks. There's a lot of beauty, so definitely check them out. Trying to check them all off the list so far. How many total miles did you put on them? I put 10,000 and like 23 miles. I broke my window through 3 times. So it's got 3 different cracks in it. I tried to fix it twice. Clark, that's it. Yeah, Clark's a cool kid. He is a shooting full. He's going to be a top hunter when he gets older. Um, he just loves shooting. Oklahoma NRL Hunter match. I won't be making that one, Jeffrey. I know that's like next weekend or the weekend after. I don't really have a weekend I got available. Um, when's the other one? 27th, 25th through the 27th. Yeah, I guess I got one weekend. Cavalier July PRS, Montpelier, Virginia. I ain't gonna shoot that one. Yeah, basically I have one weekend off and then I have Grand Slam, and I think it's that weekend. I got a buddy that's shooting it, John Alden, but I won't be shooting it. I probably could, but I won't be shooting it. I gotta have one weekend off before I head to. Remember, I got to get all the way across the United States again and shoot that match. Originally, I was just gonna fly, and I'll tell you what, all the shooting communities are amazing. But I was lucky enough to squad. Let's see, where did I meet them at? It was the first match, I mean, not the first match, but the second match in um, Cody, Wyoming. Super cool guys. They're from Laramie, Wyoming, and hopefully see them again when we get out there. So I had a good time with all those guys. Really nice guys. We're all in the same squad. Super cool, chill guys. Had a lot of fun after the match. Had a few beers together. So it was pretty cool. Any other questions? You guys may have asked. I heard it a few times while I was at the matches. Are you still are you still not smoking? And the answer is yes. Which state did you like the most in your travels? The state I liked the most in my travels was Montana. Um, even Glacier Park was a hair prettier, in my opinion, than the ones I've seen on this trip. Probably all of them, actually. Frank Gale's range. Um, it was Glacier Park was really cool, but the whole state of Montana is awesome when it's not wintertime. I have family. My son and daughter live out in Montana, so I'm going to try to visit them after the Grand Slam. We have NRL Hunter matches here, Kenny. 6 creators in the house. Um, but yeah, thoroughly love. Can't wait until I retire. I can go from shoot to shoot. It's a lot of work. It is. I know it looks fun, and it is a lot of fun. And it's for me. Yeah, he doesn't have Facebook. For me, it's a good time. I get to see a lot of cool shit. I get to enjoy the outdoors, but it's also lonely. I'm single, so it's it can be fun, but it's a lot of lonely driving. If you were a couple, whether a husband or wife or whatever, depending on who you're talking to, um, it would be a lot more fun and more enjoyable to see the sights and to be able to see that with somebody. You know what I mean? So every time I was seeing gorgeous shit, beautiful mountains and grizzly bears out in the middle of the wild and all that kind of crap, it would be much more fun to enjoy that with somebody per se. Um, so there's pluses and minuses to that. There's a few places that I had a chance to check out, which was just a lot of fun and enjoyable. But there was some downtime. I'd be sleeping at a Walmart. I'd say I probably slept at Walmart's probably half the time to maybe a third of the time, somewhere in there. And so it's comfortable. I mean the van works really well. I did have a couple issues where the refrigerator would die and I'd have to throw out all my food, and then it would turn back on again. And then I'd go buy food. So there's a little hiccup with that. There was one time I bought 20 pounds of dry ice and I threw it in the freezer and I threw it in the bottom of the fridge. And that kept my shit so cold that everything was freezing. So the generator was a lifesaver. So how it worked was when I blew up my motor, the alternator, there's two alternators. The alternator that runs and charges my battery, there's something wrong with it, but the guys couldn't figure it out at Camping World fast enough. And I'm like, man, I got a big loop I got to do. So I'll come back in a couple months and then we'll fix it. And so I just bought a generator just in case. So I would run the cord up top. It was a Honda, the 3200 something. It's the new lightweight one you can pick up like a suitcase, but it has a 30 amp breaker. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I can't find the one. I can't find the one, so we'll see. One day, hopefully, if you see me cruising around, that'll be awesome. But as for right now, no. I'm traveling the United States looking for her, but I just haven't found her yet. So we shall see. We shall see. Um, One day, I hope soon. I hope soon because it's a lot more fun. My passport showed up while I was gone. My mail was like all the way to the top of the mailbox. I figured they were going to throw it in the post office box and I'd have like a card to go get it. But luckily, it was all in there and it was stacked full. And inside of there was my passport. So I got new passports. A lot of you guys don't know that I normally don't talk to on a daily basis, but I'm actually was going to try to go on a cruise for a year and travel the world. Um, and I had seen some stuff on Instagram, and it was like 37,000 bucks. Now, $37,000 is a lot of money, but when you divide it by a year, it's like 100 and something dollars a day. Well, if you didn't have a car payment and you didn't have a house payment and say I was renting this place out, basically I could live on the ship for nothing, 100 bucks, 100 and something bucks a day. Well, that's traveling the sites. That's all the entertainment, the shows and sitting around the pool and drinking Mai Tais or whatever, seeing, swimming in the pool and cruising around and waking up in some new destination every, couple days or whatever the case is. And I'm like, hell, why not? I'm not married. I got no one to answer to. I can go see the world. So I thought that was a great idea. I come back. This is just recently, like in a couple days. I start looking online, and at least the ones I found so far, you have to pay for 3 years in advance, or you have to pay for 3 years somehow. So it's really not 33,000; it's basically 100 grand. And then there's 4 segments to see the entire world, I guess. But it's like every port, it's like all sorts of shit. So it'd be really fun. And I'm gonna probably do some shorter ones. I love being on a cruise ship. I've been on, God, I don't know how many. The longest one I was ever on was 21 days. And at the time, I had young kids and a wife, and it was probably a hair too long. I think like 15 days is about max. But now that I'm single, um, and a whole lot older, and don't want to be as crazy off the ship and that kind of stuff, I thoroughly enjoy being on the ship. You know, all the food you want, and who knows, even some hot ladies might be hanging out at the pool. Who knows? I do know that there's 40 people watching, and Cloud Kicker would say, you guys need to hit the thumbs up button. I actually talked to him at the match. He's like, I don't know why nobody does the like button. I'm like, I don't know, man. So if you get a chance, for Cloud Kicker's sake, hit the like button so he'll be excited when he sees the video, and he'll see 42 people watching and 42 thumbs up. Do it now. No, but I'm excited, so I'm gonna hang this on the wall. I'm gonna hang this cornhole championship on the wall, and it has been a really enjoyable 2 months. And fortunately, unfortunately, it's still going to continue. So I'll probably be gone another month, maybe more. See, it's yeah, I'll be gone until the end of August. So basically, it's another month and a half. So yeehaw, I guess. And then after that, I don't have any matches till the Yeti in September. Look at that, Ben. It's already on there. What's up? Shout out. AccuFire Technology, the Peeps sponsoring. Ah, shit. Cancel. We're holding a Gaskin DMR match in North Texas in October. All right. October, September, October. I don't know where I'll be in October. I might be on a cruise ship. So my plan is to do like the winter time. It better be on there. The wintertime shit, I want to go do like the whole Florida, Bahamas, you know, where it's still warm kind of thing. So I don't have anything planned as of yet, but you're going to see my ass on a cruise ship soon. After these matches, I don't want to commit to any more matches because I want to try to figure out if I can travel and get a bunch of stamps on my passport. So, we'll see. All right, now that I can actually see the comments, if you got any more questions, let me know. Charitos. Watch out for the meth gators. St. Martin. Good to know. Good to know. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to be able to do this. And what's crazy is if I did do a cruise for a year, he's looking for the foreign traditional Davy J. Right now, he's looking for anything. It would be neat, but it would suck for not being able to shoot for a year. Ray's doing his stuff. He's out in Cairo or wherever the hell he's at right now. He's having a good time. That's what it's all about. And I think he deserves it. He's a great guy. Let's see, David. Let's see. Might be nominated for 90 Day Fiance. Yeah, I don't know what the first part of that was, Kenny, but who knows? Maybe I can get on the game show, Top Bachelor or something. I can have all the girls slobbering on me. I guess that wouldn't be possible. Don't have to tell me the one that got away. Yeah, there's a state. Some of you guys know what state it is, and I need to stay out of Idaho. So, Kenny, tell us about this barrel that I shot this last weekend. It was a hammer. I just need more ammo for it. You guys know that I'm an idiot sometimes, quite a bit of times. I can't even look it up because I ended up buying, yeah, mine. I ended up buying 3 cases of 10X, 3 different speeds, and see what runs the best because the stuff I have the Ely match, which is a really good stuff. Didn't shoot the groups I wanted out of this new barrel. So I ordered some 10X. Basically, I need to rob a bank so I can pay my. Oh yeah, I will. I'll get rusty. Okay, here's another thing too. I want to tell you guys. The winner. Let's see. There you go. So that's my rifle now. Um, that thing shot awesome. Um, he has a new custom chamber that's made for Lapua and for what's the Idaho story? uh, fell in love with a chick in Idaho. She was too young, had young kids. She was everything I didn't need, but sure would be nice. That's the story. So I was like, I need to get some ammo for this. I got those 2 matches coming up. I got a finale. I got a finale in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? One, two. Yeah, I got 3 weeks basically. So I got to lot test that stuff, see which one works the best, and then try to see it. Maybe if they all work, I might keep them all, but see which one works the best. Shoot the VOD finale, and hopefully that chamber is cut for that 10X, which I'm pretty sure it is. But I have that one, and then the Yeti. So hopefully that ammo hammers, and I can actually keep my head in the game long enough to win a championship of some sort. That would be nice, but we'll see. 6 Creeder email sent. Oh, Heat's a great movie. If you're talking about the movie, Abigail, that's should be on your top list. He took mine. It's a 21 and 3/4, but I'm building mine in a 25 M24 contour. Nice. I got the test. I got to test some too. I have 6 boxes left. What I shot this weekend. Yeah, Ben, I am down to nothing. I mean, I have some Ely match that works good, but it doesn't work good in that barrel, so I needed to do something. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't have time for any of this, so I went on Kilo Sports and spent too much money. Let's see, Jason, doing well. What's your opinion on the KE Arms KP15? Honestly, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, Abigail, if you get a chance to watch that movie, it's pretty awesome. It's based on a true story, actually. If I believe, I believe, I believe. Got some water. What other shit can I show you guys? Oh, got the scratch off. Let me go get it. I got the scratch off some more states. So if you guys don't know, Ruth and Justin bought me this. Is it upside down? No. This is a scratch off of the United States of America. And every time I shoot a stage, or not a stage, a competition in a state that I haven't shot, I scratch it off. So after this weekend, I get to scratch off Indiana. Or no, yeah, Indiana. And that'll be one more. So right now I got 1, 2, 3. Let's see, I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. I got 20 of them done. 20 states. Kenny got an email. You've got mail. So a pretty cool idea. Some of you guys have a bucket list of swimming with sharks. Some of you guys have a bucket list of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. And some of you guys have a bucket list of shooting every state in the USA. And that's mine. So, pretty exciting. One day, hopefully, I will fulfill and scratch every state off. But until then, I just keep going after it. So if you live in a state that has gold on it still, and there's a really cool match that I should go to, let me know. Let me know about it. And maybe if I'm in the circle, I'll hit it. I'll hit it up. Because I would like to shoot in every state. So we'll see. I don't plan on doing this like in 1 year kind of thing. Swimming with sharks is fun, especially a lemon shark. Yeah, those ones don't bite you, right? Lemon sharks are like nice, and they got like, of course, I could be wrong. I don't know my sharks. I just know that when Jaws came out back in the 70s, whatever hell year that was, it ruined me from anything but a bathtub, basically. Because sharks can be in fresh water. Just ask those guys. Anything with a mouth can bite. Abigail, you are right. You are right. When life gives you lemons, sharks. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. There was a lot of cool people I got to see, and there was a few people that recognized me, and it was a lot of fun. I got a chance to talk with some people that watch the channel. It was really cool, and it always is a pleasure to meet someone that watches this crazy ass channel. The question I really want to ask him is, why the hell do you watch this channel? Because it's all shenanigans, shooting shenanigans. But no, it's been fun. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. It's been a long time. I need to get on there and see when I started the YouTube thing. I think it's like 8 or 9 years now. It's been a crazy experience. But what's cool is a lot of people that are on here. I missed Blade Show this year. I don't work for Microtech anymore, so I'm gonna miss all the Blade shows. Um, but it is what it is, because you're a real G. Because you're a real G. That's funny. Other than that, my house is a shit sandwich. I got ammo and hats and rifle bags and backpacks and shit everywhere. Um, but it's because I'm getting ready to split again, so, which is crazy. I just got back. It'll be 4 days. Tonight will be my fourth night of sleeping in the house, which is crazy. In 2 months. But we're on an adventure, people. We're on an adventure. If you guys are watching this after the live chat, tell me one of your favorite places, either your favorite state to visit or your favorite national park. And it's always good to get some insight from you guys and kind of see. That wouldn't be good to do anymore. I got some really cool video footage of Desert Precision Gunworks cutting the barrel, and I think Laser and Skittles 3.0 on it, but I just have not had time to build that video. I got quite a few videos I haven't had a chance to do. The reason why I've just been nonstop, but there's those ones, and then some of the matches. I really tried not to take video footage of the matches because, one, I'm trying to focus and trying to do well, and that didn't work at the Hornady PRC. Hell, it didn't work at 2/3 of the matches, but um, I think doing it more often, especially for my brain, if I can continue to shoot matches, I don't get nervous anymore. I've been shooting a lot of matches, so like all that's out of the way. Um, but remembering to do shit, I'm still screwing up. So remembering to dial back. What's funny too is I go, oh, this is going to be one of those stages where Chris has it set up so you'll screw up and forget. And then by the time I hunted elk on the west of Yellowstone, it was the prettiest country I've ever seen. I actually worked on a hunting ranch in Alpine, Wyoming, and you would go into Idaho, and then on horseback you would ride back into the Teton Forest. I did that for 3 months, and that was beautiful back there. Every night, and there was this meadow at the top of the mountain. You'd see like 300 head of elk all go to the top of this mountain every night before sunset. Massive, massive, big old bull elks we pulled out of there. I didn't do any hunting. I was the guy that brought all the food supplies, horseback, and then all the beer, lots of beer, lots of beer in, and all the food in, and then all the meat out to get processed. And that was a really good time. As it was in between fire seasons when I was starting out as a firefighter, and kind of when you start out, you only work during the fire season. So right after the fire season, you had a few months, and then you go back to work. Well, in that winter time is when hunting season is in Wyoming, and I had a chance to do that one season. And it was really cool. I do. That's on my list. I used to, I used tape on my turrets and used arrows to remind me. There you go, Ben. Where were you at, buddy? I needed your help on that. No, I had it in my head. It's just I was waiting for the shooters to go, and by the time it was my turn to grab the rifle, I didn't put that back into my head, so I forgot. And that's basically how Chris had set that match up to do that. If I was a match director, that would have been something I would have done to help screw up people. But uh, I was the one. Yep, it's the Bridget Tetons. I was in best hunt of my life. Yeah, I thought there's some massive elk out there. Um, just beautiful too. It was neat because it was like the movies. You'd see the guy with horses, and he'd have a string of like six horses, and you go through the river, and then you get back on these little cutbacks along the edge of the mountain, and then you cross over again. It was a really really good time. I need to find those old pictures of me and the string of horses because on the back of each horse they would be two quarters, and then you'd have a rack, and you'd have to strap all that in there. But it was just really cool pictures. I just got to find them. That was a lot of fun, but that was in the early '90s. It was good times. Other than that, life's good. Life's kind of it's amazing and lonely, but it's a usually a smile on my face. But yeah, factory Tika. So if you guys maybe they're doing it in the comment sections and I've been missing it. So you have third place, you have Ben Blevins, Kentucky Precision or whatever this thing says. Then you have Chris Beck in second. And then you have a guy shooting a factory Tika rifle. Now, to his credit, the guy's an amazing shot. And he's shooting a factory Tika rifle. So, this just tells you that the most important component of a shooting match is the shooter and not the equipment. You hear people saying, "Oh, you're just trying to buy first place," or that does not work. Because if that was the case, I'd have first place every time. I have amazing gear. Um, there's nothing that I would want any different that would help me. It is the person behind the rifle is the person that hits the points. The better wind color is a huge thing. If you can figure out the wind and what to hold, you're going to make impacts. Yeah, you got to have a rifle that shoots worth of shit. You got to have good ammo. You can't have a Tika and some big old bucket of ammo shit. You're not going to win a match. But if you have really good ammo, a good rifle that has a good zero, you have the dope for the rifle, so you know where it should hit at certain distances, and you have a really good shooter behind the rifle, you can win. So I know Chris Beck is an amazing shooter. He probably would have got first if he wasn't left-handed. Hopefully he's still watching. I'm giving him shit. And then Ben Blevins, I've been shooting with Ben for a few years now. He's an amazing shooter. And then this guy, I can't remember his name. He's going to be shooting for Team USA for the match in Italy. So he's a damn good shooter. So I'm proud of he's from US. So the Nationals, if you guys don't know, not Kevin, Jason, which is on here called Tree Feller 22LR, I think is still his name. Zane Herman is the guy that came in first. Now, not to discredit him, but for points wise, Ben Blevins, which is Kentucky Precision, he actually came in first overall in the points. So congratulations, Ben, on an amazing season, buddy. Overall match, it was Herman, Chris Beck, and then Ben Blevins. So they all shot great. I was right up there with them on day one, baby. I was nipping at the heels. I was nipping at the heels. And then day two, but no, I shot really well day one, and not so well day two. You got to remember when you're shooting against this, there's 231. I think it was 31 of the best shooters in the United States. Plus, you had South Africa, Australia, and where else? There was one other country. Maybe Ben can help me out. But anyways, there's people from all over, your top shooters. So I was still thankful to get 42nd place, which would have been better if it was top 10, but didn't work out. But walking away from that one, 42nd place was pretty awesome. Oh, and Canada. I forgot. Sorry, Canuckians. Forgot. And Canada showed up as well. So you got the best of the best coming together, see who's going to take it. And luckily the Americans won. So that's pretty awesome. USA, baby. Y'all should shoot here. There's a lot of egos to tear down here. Yeah. That's the thing about doing this match. So remember this first place I had? Right? Just a week later, 2 weeks later, I got my ass handed to me. Um, so there is regions within the United States when it comes to shooting, and this region here is really good for rimfire and okay for center fire. Out west is more of the center fiery kind of stuff, like Oklahoma out, where you start seeing all of the top. And I'm kind of not exactly sure where all these badass shooters are at, but once you go a little more west, I'm in North Carolina, so once you go west, it's there's some really good center fire shooters as well. So as you move around and you start shooting with the same guys, and I saw a lot of the same faces from NRL Hunter to NRL Hunter to NRL Hunter, and you see a lot of the same guys. Hey, Vanessa, winning trophies, you know. So you got to have a really good day, and all your equipment's got to be on par. You got to have good dope for the elevations that you're at, and there's a lot of shit that goes into it. I was shooting at 9,975 was the elevation, and for the density altitude when I was in Cody, Wyoming, and like out here it's like nothing. I think our tallest mountain's like, well, where I'm at, I won't say the tallest mountain, but it's like 1,300. So that's like, 7 or 8,000 in something different. So the ammo does change a little bit. And depending on the temperatures and how much humidity is here, our bullet's trying to go through basically water. What is the different about NRL Hunter? So Brian, NRL Hunter is a blind stage. So basically, you're behind something as you're in a squad, but you're really by yourself or your teammate, and you go to a holding area or a staging area, and then when they call you, basically at the staging area, there'll be a sign that'll say like uh, 4 targets, 1 position. So when you see that, you know that you have to find 4 different distances. So on the clock, you have as a team, you have 6 minutes, and as a single shooter like myself, you have 4 minutes to find, engage, or find, range, and engage the targets within the 4 minutes. And what can be really tricky is the targets aren't painted, or they're painted the same color as the rocks, or they're hidden in the shadows, or they make it tricky. It'll be in a dark spot underneath some bushes, so that it's harder to find these targets. And if you shoot the target on the first shot, you get 2 points. If you shoot the target with your second round and hit it, you get 1 point. If you miss it, you get 0, but you have to move on to the next one. So the most targets you'll ever see is 4, and the most minimum will be 1 with 4 positions. And then you have like 2 targets, 2 positions. So those are basically your three things that'll happen. 4 targets, 1 position, 2 targets, 2 position, or 4 positions, 1 target. So if you can hit everything on your first shot, you get 8 points. That's as high as you can get. And I have a card here from the last NRL Hunter. This was the Hornady one. So your cards look like this. So what's crazy about this stuff is you have like 20 stages. And this one's actually a stage here, so that was 21 stages. They got rid of 1 stage, but you can see that the ROs have to sign it. And then depending on what you got, like I have 3 points there. There's a few 8s in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 4 8s, which means that's the best you can do on the stage. But that's kind of how these, and you carry these with you. So you fold it up, you put it back in your binos cover case, and then when you get to the next stage, you hand this to the RO, and then he'll write the scores on it. But this is a lot of fun because it's different. It's like a team sniper match kind of stuff, where you got to range the targets and find them kind of stuff. So it's really cool. But it's a lot different than PRS. What's the max distance generally? And nothing more than 1,000 yards with the NRL Hunter. And they really try to keep it to 800 and in. The reason why they do that is it's based around hunting. So they want hunters they don't want hunters shooting 1,000 yards at an animal because, more than likely you'll wound it if you don't get a good hit on it. But a lot different for this is you can only shoot certain stuff. So you have to have a power factor. You take your bullet speed and your bullet weight, you put it all together, and it has to be over 380,000, I think. So like this bullet is 2663 with a 140, but I'm shooting factory ammunition, so I don't have to make power factor. Where if I'm loading ammo, I have to make power factor. So for this match, I'm shooting targets of 300 to 500 yards. Yeah, usually they're mostly within 300 to 500 yards. There'll be times when they'll do little prairie dogs, and they'll be fairly closer, like 250-ish, but they're tiny little rat bastards. They're really thin and long, so you gotta really know your wind if there's wind within that. And what's cool is you're in terrain where you're in the mountains and the wind's bouncing off of the topography and kind of moving your bullet around. So you got to really pay attention to what the wind's doing, or hopefully you're paying attention to what the wind's doing, because it's very beneficial kind of having an idea where that wind's at. You'll see people with those hunting little squirt bottle things that shoots powder out, and the wind will blow it away in whatever direction to kind of give them an idea. Um, so you'll see guys carry that on their pack. It's a completely different style of shooting. You carry all your crap in a backpack. You have to deploy the tripod on our 1-to-1, 1.5 MOA. Yeah, if you can find them. So if you want to use your tripod, it's got to be in the collapse position. There was someone on my first match that was saying that my tripod wasn't all the way closed, and he was right. The When I had talked to the ROs, this was the first one, so I had no idea. Um, they said you can have your tripod out as long as it's slung. Well, after going to all these matches, you can sling your tripod, but it has to be completely collapsed. So um, he was correct on that. So hopefully he sees this. But yeah, because I would just have it the one leg out, and then it was about the height for me to kneel, which is you shoot a lot from a tripod, so having a good quality tripod is important. Let's see. Oh shit, cancel. All right, so 140 grains at 2,663 feet is about. No, you got to go the other. It's 2,663 times 140. We don't care about foot pounds. Whatever that number is, that's the power factor. Abigail, what's 140 times 2,663? And I'll tell you if it meets power factor or not. Remember, it's factory ammunition though. And what they do, the reason why the power factor is important is because if we both tie, the person with the higher power factor would get the win. That's the reason why they use the power factor. Another thing is the rifle, depending on what division you're in, you have factory, you have light. Yeah, it has to be over 380,000 or more unless you shoot factory. Yeah, 6.5. What was the number? How close was I? Yeah, see, I was under. So if I was shooting against a factory guy that loaded his ammunition and he was over 380, he would or would have to be over 380. He would win the tie. Reason why I'm shooting factory ammunition is because I ordered a bunch of stuff, but it didn't get here in time before I left for my big loop, so I had to shoot factory ammo. And I was shooting suppressed. So you are allowed 12 pounds if you're in light division. So your rifle, bipod, scope, all the shit that's on your rifle needs to be less than 12 pounds. And then you also have a heavy division, and everything, all of the same shit, has to be under 16 pounds. So those are basically your three categories: factory, light, and heavy, I believe, is all three of them. But factory comes with some disadvantages because you have to shoot factory rifle, like can't change the trigger, you can't drill holes in the chassis and add crap. Um, Like there's no modifications to your rifle allowed. Now, if it comes with a barrel nut, you can run a brake. If it comes with a brake and no barrel nut, you have to use that brake. So luckily, the MG Light Bagara comes with a thread protector, which means I can put on the Eric Cortina tuner slash muzzle brake. And there was a huge difference going from my Thunder Beast Ultra 7, shooting that, suppress the last 4 matches or 3 matches, whatever it is, and being able to shoot today with the brake on it, with the a lot faster, right? Snappier done, but I can get on target faster and spot my misses or hits. To be fair, I'm a C student at best. So yeah, Abigail. But that's basically it. And it's a lot of fun. And they're starting to do rimfire ones now. I've been doing all the 2-day series ones, the bigger matches. But they have 1-day ones to, and what's really cool, they have a thing called what the hell is it called? You can go there with any rifle, like your PRS rifle. You can shoot the match. I think you pay a little less, but you're not shooting as a competitor. You're basically just getting a chance to figure it out and how it works and all that kind of stuff. Why can't I think of what the name is? Skills. I think they call it skills. So basically, you're just going there. The ROs will help you get on target. There you go. They'll help you get on target. And if you're having trouble, you can tell them how much help you want. So if you're kind of getting it, but you're still in the skill division, you can be like, if I can't find anything in the first 2 minutes, then help me out. So they go up there. There was one Asian guy from Japan. No, he wasn't. He was from Australia. He shot in our match in Utah, the price match, Hornady price match in Utah. He was in our squad shooting a PRS rifle, and he was just in the country because he was shooting the Hornady PRC one, which I never saw him at that one, but he said he was shooting it. But he had a chance to shoot that match and get an idea what an NRL Hunter was, and he had a really good time. He actually shot really well, but he's using a heavier rifle, using a really good round. So there was some, but he was finding the targets and all that stuff. So they really didn't have to coach him much. So it was really cool to see, and it's a lot of fun. It's just cool because it's not PRS. I enjoy PRS, but it's just something different, completely different. Usually where you're shooting, it's beautiful. You got bitchin' backdrops and lakes and cliffs and mountains and all that kind of stuff out in the middle of nowhere, and it's not a flat range where you're shooting, you know, basically the Hornady. The PRC is kind of like that, where it's got some beauty to it, but it's been the same match for like X amount of years. So basically, you go in a counterclockwise rotation. Stage one's always at the bottom, and you work your way up the hill. And a lot of the same targets that we saw the year I shot it. Some stuff was scrambled around a little bit, but I would say that kind of sucks for the guys that shoot that every year. It'd be nice for them to change it up a little more. But if you've never been, or maybe it's your second time, like for me, it was still an amazing time. Um, there's a sense of gratitude knowing you can ruck to a hillside with 8 rounds in your pocket. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. You're hoping not to shoot 8 rounds. That's the one thing about a thin barrel that is carbon fiber is if you're going from stage one, say, and you have to shoot all 8 rounds, and then you go to the next stage and have to shoot all 8 rounds. Well, first off, you only want to shoot 4 rounds because that means you're getting 8 points. But that barrel will get so hot that it will start to open up. So trying to cool it down, you're just hoping you're only shooting 4 times because then your accuracy stays a little tighter and it's not opening up as much. Remember, it's a stock barrel. It's a hunting rifle. It's one that a guy would normally buy off the shelf, put a scope on it, and go kill a deer or something. So he's shooting it a couple times. We're shooting that damn thing all day long. And those thin carbon fiber barrels, they start getting a little hot and they start walking a little bit. And now you're like, well, where's this bullet going to go? So hopefully there's enough time and it cools down enough. But it does happen, especially if you're sucking and you're shooting 8 times. They do sell barrel fans. I just hate those things. They're loud and obnoxious. You know what's weird? The first time I ever seen one of those was at Hornady PRC a few years ago, and I might have only seen one since. Um, and I think that was down in like Alt Altus match or something. I thought those things. What's crazy is that tiny little fan sounds just like wee the whole time. And it's like turn that shit off. Like especially when there's like a couple of them going. Like after you've been hearing the concussion of bullets all day long, the last thing you want to hear is that stupid ass fan. Like it's annoying. It is really annoying. So me just keeping it real, I guess. But other than that, I have tons of shit to talk about just from all the cool adventures. But this has been going on for an hour and a half ish. So we'll save some of this for another night. I'm gonna go get all my crap ready for tomorrow. I got some stuff I got to do to be ready to go hit the road in the morning. And I got an 8.5 hour, maybe 9 hours, probably 10 hours with lunch and fuel and all that kind of crap. So I got stuff to do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed having fun. I enjoyed you guys all showing up. And hopefully you guys are safe and everything's good and you're healthy. And we will see you soon. Need to get the quiet type. Do they make a quiet type? I haven't seen those. I wouldn't mind a quiet one, but man, the ones I've seen, they're little red ones, and they're just obnoxiously loud and noisy. But hopefully you guys are doing well, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for coming up to me and saying, love the channel, whatever the case is. It's just nice meeting you folks that actually watch the channel. So you guys take care, stay safe, and we'll get out of here, and we'll see you guys soon, hopefully. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, let's make Cloud Kicker happy and hit the thumbs up button, even if we're not live after this turns off. See you guys.